going on, YouTubers? I'm Kevin0015, and this is another episode of my Top 5, and today's titled episode is my Top 5 Favorite Vince Vaughn Movies. That's right, Vince Vaughn, one of the funniest men alive. A man who can do it all. Horror, comedy, action, thriller, suspense. He can do it all. So, let's start this off with a bang. Number 1, Wedding Crashers. Completely funny in Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, they're a couple of guys that like to crash weddings and fuck a bunch of chicks. That's basically what they do. And, if we finally go to this one wedding, it's like a really expensive wedding. And, they, instead of just fucking a girl and leaving, they stay attached. And they go with them to their summer retreat and shit like that, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Vince Vaughn is funny as shit in it, and I think my favorite part in that whole movie that he says, he's just funny, like, with his, the way he acts, like, Owen Wilson saying, like, oh, Chaz is, he's something. And he's like, you bite your tongue, he talks like that and shit. But my favorite part is where, Vince Vaughn gets shot in the ass, and, they're picking the, what do they call them? The, whatever, the things that comes out of a fucking rifle and goes in, and you have to pick them out piece by piece. The one girl that Vince Vaughn was sleeping with was picking those out of his ass, and he was like in so much pain, and Owen Wilson comes up with the one girl. He was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're just gonna go on a bike ride, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah? He's like, yeah. He's like, did you want to come? He's like, no, I don't want to go, actually, because I got shot in the ass, so don't mind me if I don't want to go. And Owen Wilson's like, well, all right, we'll tell you how it was, and we'll go. He's like, and then Vince Vaughn says my favorite line in the whole movie. He's like, yeah, you go ahead. He's like, you selfish son of a, or no, he said, I hope you flip over your front handlebars and knock your 2 front teeth out, you selfish son of a bitch. Vince Vaughn is great in that movie. Number 2 is Psycho. This is what I'm talking about when Vince Vaughn can do it all, because Vince Vaughn, he's a funny-ass guy, but he can play like an insane guy, and he's proven that time and time again in such movies with Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta. Just like, you'd have to check out his portfolio, because his movies are really good. So yeah, Psycho. He plays Norman Bates in it, in the remake, and I think in 1990 it came out. 98 maybe? I don't fucking know. It came out in the 90s, but he plays Norman Bates in it. It's basically the same story as the original. Just, Vince Vaughn's playing in the part, but he did it really well. He did it really, really good. So, kudos to Vince Vaughn on that one. Number 3, Couples Retreat. He was fucking hilarious in that. Just, Vince Vaughn being the way Vince Vaughn is, like, there's a couple parts where he's like, there was a shark going around him, and the guy's like, do not panic. And then one guy starts freaking out, and he's like swimming. He's like, he said not to panic. He said not to panic. he's just funny as shit. You'd have to watch it to understand. But I went and saw that in theaters, and I'm just like, oh man, this was so worth it just because of Vince Vaughn. So yeah. Number 4, Old School. I swear to God, because of Vince Vaughn in this movie, I am doing this for my kid. In Old School, Vince Vaughn, every time he cursed around his kids, or some other guy was going to curse around his kids, he told his son earmuffs, and the kid would go like this, and then he would curse, or another guy would curse, and I'm going to do that with my kid. Every time I'm about to curse, or someone else is about to curse, I'm going to be like, son, earmuffs, or daughter, earmuffs, and they're going to go like, and then I'm going to curse. So, thanks, Vince. But yeah, also, he was funny as shit in that. He was, I guess you would say he was the only happily married guy in that movie. Because Will Ferrell and his wife were not doing that great. And they just got married. And, yeah. So, Old School's a funny-ass movie. I think Old School was the first movie I actually saw Vince Vaughn in. So, yeah. Apparently Vince Vaughn likes working with the Wilson brothers. So, yeah, because Luke Wilson was in Old School. So, number 5, The Watch. It was fucking hilarious. If you guys have not seen The Watch yet with Ben Stiller, Jonah Hill, and that other guy, I don't know his name, you have to watch it because it was just downright fucking hilarious. I mean, Vince Vaughn just like he played the dad in it, and it was fun. I can't put into words how funny it was, but it is definitely worth seeing. Vince Vaughn is basically the funniest guy in that movie. No, yeah, he is the funniest guy in that movie. So, yeah. So, it's my top 5 favorite Vince Vaughn movies. I will catch you guys on the flippity flop, and I'll see you guys next time.